Here we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. You will notice this video is being recorded, so you can view it later at a different date if you wish. And just to let you know, you can ask questions to your panelists using your Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. Your camera and microphone are off. You will be muted and the panelists cannot see nor hear you. You can always sign up for more sessions as well once this opportunity is over if you wish by signing up at the www.westvirginiaacrao.org. Again, that is WVACRAO.org. We hope you have a great day. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the panelists.
All right, we're just going to share a screen here with you guys. All right, so welcome to Glenville State College virtual session. We are so excited to be joining you tonight. We are joining you all the way from the heart of West Virginia. So if you're unfamiliar where we are located, if you look at the state of West Virginia and you actually put your finger directly in the middle of it, that's where we are. So you are so centrally located here that it's really convenient because you're just a short drive away from our bigger cities like Huntington, Charleston, and Parkersburg. So super convenient for you. And my name is Lexi, and I work here in our admissions office. I am one of the admissions advisors here. I'm also joined tonight with the rest of my team. So I've got Ricky Butler here, I've got Larry Glenn, and then I've got Sarah Rollins there. We are your admissions staff here. And as you can see on the screen, that is the map of West Virginia. And we kind of break down our map by territory. So depending on where you're located, that's going to be who your point of contact will be here in our office. So we understand that this admissions process, it can be a little intimidating trying to figure out what college you're going to attend, and then it can get a little stressful when you're looking at documents you may or may not need. So what our job is to do is kind of take all that stress off your plate, make it super, super easy for you, and kind of help guide you along the way. And if there's questions that you have, we're here to answer them. And then anything that, we can't answer, we're going to put you in contact with that person. And so we're super excited tonight because we also have Sherry here with us, and Sherry works here as one of our financial aid advisors. So she's here going to give you tons of information on financial aid and kind of navigating all of that. So we're excited to get started with our presentation. So I'll go ahead and hand that over to Ricky.
Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our academic departments. So we are a small campus of about 1,800 students, and we like to keep our class sizes about 16 students, 16 to 18, so that you can really get that one-on-one learning experience that ultimately you're paying for. All of our faculty are highly qualified across the board. For instance, in our business department, our faculty there have either owned their own businesses or are CEOs currently of their own businesses. In our education department, if you're looking to be a teacher, all of your professors are going to have had experience in the public school systems. In our fine arts department, if you're interested in music, we have professors who have played in symphonies or have played in the house band for the House of Blues, which is super exciting. And criminal justice, if any of you are all interested in that. If you all like the murder mystery shows or crime scene investigation, one of our professors has actually been on the ID channel. He did a segment for a crime that he was investigating as a homicide detective in Maryland. So we all had like a viewing party here on campus of that. And a great deal of our faculty have all been published authors as well. So you can buy their books at our bookstore and look that up online. And not only are they highly qualified, we offer a culturally diverse school climate. So that's with both our faculty and our students. So all of those degrees, departments listed there have different degrees and concentrations and minors. And you can view all of that on our website under our academics link. So next we're going to talk more about our campus and dive into our our athletic side of things.
So obviously we're a D2 school. We're located in obviously the Mountain East Conference. We're in a competitive conference as well. We averaged, pretty solid stats among each sport, whether that be in football, basketball, track and field, whichever one, strikes your interest most. I know we're actually, if you look up here up in the top left, we did include esports this year. Something to kind of bring a different aspect in rather than just, a typical athlete of, off the top of your head definition. The bottom left-hand corner is our Waco Center, which includes our training rooms, as well as some of the coaches' offices. And also down below is our state-of-the-art weight room. Our weight room set up as one as a D1 facility. What I like to preach to is, we're a small school, so we have the individualism of a small school, but the resources of a giant school. So some of the things we have here can be seen in some D1 schools, and on top of that, some of them are actually better than some D1 schools. We're located at the D2, so we do give out scholarship money for athletics. I know actually some of our athletics actually carried on to some overseas basketball players. I know we recently just had one, and about 2 years ago we actually had another one. So just because we're a small school doesn't mean we don't have any resources as well. So if you look up on the top right corner, you'll see our track going around our football field, which obviously is AstroTurf. You'll see our Sue Morris Complex, which has our baseball and softball field on it as well. We do have an indoor facility with some turf in that as well. Located around that, we do have an outside sand volleyball pit, some basketball courts, and a walking track out there as well for the people that just want to go out and enjoy the day.
All right, so talking about some activities that we hear, that's kind of a question that we get asked a lot. I know kind of Ricky and Larry touched on it. So we are a smaller school here. So like she said, you're really going to see that in your classroom size. That's really beneficial to you because you really get to know your professors. They get to know you. You're not just going to be a number here. You're really known, and people are really interested in what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are. And it really helps you get to know your classmates. And then but even though we're a smaller school, I always like to say we're very diverse here. We have such a great international program. So we have students that come from all over, from Nigeria and Japan. We have great transfers that come in all over from, California, New York, Texas. Heck, I'm from Alabama and I'm here. So you definitely get that diversity factor that you're looking for in your college experience. And a big thing here is definitely all of our activities. So kind of what we're used to is having all our athletics kind of playing. So unfortunately, though, with COVID, we haven't really had that. So I've been really proud to see how our student activities crew has kind of came up with filling in those gaps of not having football games and basketball games or volleyball meets to go to. So all last week, we had a big kind of spirit week that everyone kind of participated in. We're kind of gearing up for Halloween. So as you can see on the screen, you've got Halloween scavenger hunt that they did, and then they did a virtual Fright Night that was really awesome. They've been great about putting activities together that are very safe and COVID friendly. So as you can see, the tie dyeing and the paint night that they did. We've had big things before basketball games where we do the luau party, as you see our Pioneer dressed up for that. We've had our taco night. We do a lot of kind of making things. So they did personalized name tags, mason jars. I mean, there's so much happening. So they've done movie nights on the lawn. And we actually just this past Saturday did our big fall bash. So we had That was at our Sue Morris complex. We had live music, food, a mechanical bull that we all rode. So there's always something to do here. Every night, there's an activity going on daily for you. And then you can really get involved here. We have all of our Greek life and our departmental clubs. So if you want to get involved and be a part of everything, there's stuff for you to do. And it's exciting for us to kind of see what events are going to be happening next.
So if all of this sounds really interesting to you, we can get you ready to apply with it's non-commitment applying. So you'll apply, and it doesn't mean you have to come here, but we get your information so that we can keep you up to date with everything that's going on here at Glenville. So you've got this screen here. If you have a chance to give it a screenshot, because this is our website where you'll go to our application. And since you're here with us this evening, we're going to give you the free waiver code so you don't have to pay to apply tonight. You just have to put #GoPioneers when they ask you to pay your application fee. And then once you do apply, you'll get a text from one of us that entered in your application, and we're going to let you know all the things we have to do next to continue with your acceptance. So some of these documents we're going to be asking you for is a high school transcript. If you're a senior in high school right now, you're going to be sending us an unofficial transcript because it doesn't have your graduation date on it. And then after you graduate, you'll have your high school counselor send us your official transcript that has a graduation date, and that's how we can fully accept you with that. If you're a dual enrollment student, so maybe you're taking college English or college algebra from a local community college, we will need the transcripts from that college as part of your acceptance here as well. And you can access those from the registrar's office at the school you are taking the classes through, or you can usually access those online through that school. If you're going to live in our dorm room, we require you to have immunization records, which we're looking for a second dose of measles, mumps, and rubella. That way, we're just keeping everything standard across the board, and that's what we ask everyone to have. And hi everyone, sorry about that. We'll get that PowerPoint right back up for you. Okay, we're good.
Hi guys, sorry about that. My name's Sherry Goff. I'm the financial aid counselor here at Glenville, one of five. There are five of us in the office. I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about some things that everybody asks about FAFSA. So the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and what that basically is a very long application. It's really not as long as it seems. It does seem like it's really, really long the first time you do it. That actually allows us to award federal financial aid. So those are things like the Pell Grant and loans, so things of that sort. So when you're filling out your FAFSA, the first thing you're going to need is your FSA ID. So that's your federal student aid ID. You're going to go to the website that you see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It's www.studentaid.gov. You're going to start with your FSA ID. So you will generate that. You'll need your social security number, your date of birth, an address, cell phone, so that you can verify that you are who you are. Then your parents, if you're a dependent student, will also need an FSA ID. And some of them, if they've gone to college before, they may already have an FSA ID. So, and that's great. So once you continue with your FSA ID, once you get that verified, you're going to go on the same website and you're going to apply for aid. So once you do that, you're going to go to studentaid.gov. And there's a drop box that just says apply for aid. You're going to click there and start your FAFSA. So if you have not done your FAFSA before, you're going to start a new one. If you have done one prior, you're just going to want to renew, because that's going to pull over information that you typed in last year, and you just need to double check and make sure that that's all correct. So the FAFSA for next fall, the 21-22 school year, which seems crazy to me, that we are already at 2021 fall, that actually opened up on October 1st. So you can go ahead and start that FAFSA today. When you do, most of what you're going to need is your FSA ID. You're going to want your income and your parents' income from 2019. So the FAFSA goes back 2 years with their income information. So what you're going to have to do is make sure that you have tax returns from 2019. If your parents did not file a tax return, or you did not file a tax return, that's okay, because there is a place for you to mark that as well. So if you are currently a dual enrollment student, or if you are with Glenville State College, or if you are planning to be a dual enrollment student in the spring, then you're going to want to go ahead and do your FAFSA for the 2021 school year. If you are registered for dual enrollment with Glenville, because we're actually the only college in the state of West Virginia that is participating in what's called the Experimental Site Initiative for dual enrollment students. So Glenville State College is the only college in the state of West Virginia that allows high school students to access their Pell funds while they are still enrolled in high school. So what that means for you is, if you are Pell eligible according to your expected family contribution, then that allows you to have your dual enrollment classes through Glenville State for free. So if that's something you're interested in, by all means, please contact me, because I am the one that does all of the dual enrollment in our office. My contact information is there on the screen. So that EFC, the expected family contribution, that is the number that the FAFSA generates, which spits out after it combines all of the information that you put in there. Does this big, huge, long calculation. And if you put our code, our school code, which is there on your screen, so screenshot this screen, and that gives you the 003813 school code. You can also search for Glenville State College or whatever school that you're interested in. You don't have to have been accepted to that school to put them on your FAFSA. So even if you are just looking at Glenville State, or you think you might want to look at another school, make sure you go ahead and add them on the FAFSA. You can add up to 10 schools when you initially do your FAFSA. And that just gives us access to it. So if you're coming on campus, we can look at your FAFSA and see your EFC, and that allows us to give you a better estimate of how much aid that you would be eligible for. So your EFC is basically what the Department of Education, federal government, deems the family should be expected to contribute to your education within the whole year. So that number it spits out looks like just some random number, but it's actually dollar amounts. There's no dollar sign anywhere associated with it, but it is actually dollar amounts. So it takes the EFC is subtracted from the cost of attendance, and that gives you your unmet need. And what that does is that tells us how much aid that we're able to give you. So some different types of aid other than Pell Grant and your loans, you're looking at scholarships. So scholarships at Glenville State, we do not have a separate scholarship application for incoming freshmen. So when you apply, you fill out that application that Sarah was talking about, and you get us your high school GPA, and you get us your ACT or SAT scores if you've taken it. Then those three things combined are your application for your scholarships on Glenville State College. Those would include any of our named scholarships that are out of our foundations office, as well as our merit scholarships that you would get for your academic achievements while you're in high school. So some of the things that you want to look at when you're looking at cost of attendance of a school is going to be what your per semester costs are going to be. So for Glenville State, we are super affordable when you're looking at when you're looking at schools all across the state, and even especially all across the nation. We are really, really affordable, and you can see those numbers right on the screen. For in-state students per semester living on campus, you're looking at just a little over $9,000, which is really, really great. So some other things that you want to look at when you are looking at scholarships are going to be your outside scholarships. So you want to make sure that you are asking for all of that free money that you can get, right? So free money is always best. We don't want to take out loans unless we absolutely need them. So we want to go for that free stuff. Rule of thumb, if you have to pay somebody to get you free money, it's not free. So it's usually a scam. And so make sure that if you are filling out applications or if you're looking at scholarship finders, that they are free for you. Two of the most popular for West Virginia students are going to be CFWV, that is the College Foundation of West Virginia, .com. And that is the same place you go to apply for the Promise Scholarship, same exact website. On the right-hand side on their website, they have a link called a Scholarship Finder. And basically what you're going to do is put in a profile, and it will match you with scholarships that you may be eligible for based on what you have listed in your profile. So once you do that, you can go directly to them and apply. CFWV is only open to West Virginia students. So you have a much smaller pool that you are that you're applying with and that you're competing with. The other one that we really share most often with students is called FastWeb. That's just like really quick web. So fast, FASTWEB.com. And it also is a scholarship finder, but that is a national scholarship finder, and it's really good. They have an app that you can put on your phone, and you would go in and you're going to go in there, you're going to set up a profile just like on CFWV, and they will match you with potential scholarships that you might be eligible for. The other thing that I always tell students is go knock on doors. Go to your local mom and pop stores and restaurants in your local area knock on the door, just walk in one day and say, hi, my name's Sherry and I'm going to Glenville State College and I'm majoring in accounting and I'm super excited to go. Do you offer scholarships for local students? It's that simple. The worst thing that they're going to do is tell you no. So either they don't offer them or they've already given out their scholarships. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So I'm not sure if anybody has any questions at this point. I can go on for a long time. We do have a merit-based scholarship here on campus, and that is that matrix is on our website. So it's a little much to pull up here, but it will tell you, basically it's a simple matrix. You have your GPA down one side and your ACT or SAT scores down the other, and where they meet, that's the amount that you would be eligible for as an incoming freshman.
And our merit is anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000, which is super comparable to any other big institution in West Virginia and across the nation. So if they're presenting you with $2,000 and we're presenting you with $2,000, that's going to be close to like 20% of our tuition that we're literally giving to you just based on your academic excellence.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that when you are looking at schools, that you not only look at the dollar figure that they are willing to give you, but you want to make sure that you're looking at the bottom line. So when you go to another school that says, oh, we're going to offer you $38,000 to come to school here next year. Okay, well, but Glenville's only offering me $5,000 with scholarships and with my Pell and I'm only getting $5,000. Okay, $5,000 at Glenville State is going to cover half of what it costs you for a semester, whereas $38,000 may not even cover the entire year's tuition, board, and rooms at another institution. So you really want to just make sure that you're looking at the bottom line and you're really digging into what you're being offered anywhere you go, no matter where you go. Always ask questions, especially for financial aid. We are here to help you. That's our job. So, excuse me.
Thank you, Sherry. That was great information. Once again, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. And I think the next thing I definitely want to tell you to do is just come visit us. Come schedule a campus tour. That link is on the screen there. We would love to have you on campus so you can actually see how, look out over the mountains and see how beautiful it is here. Come talk to our professors in person. Let them tell you about their crime scene investigation and everything that happened with that. Come, get a tour and see our 300 acres of college farm that we have for our students, where they get to hunt and hike. Come look at our shooting range. Come see our golf course. Like Larry was talking about, come see our athletic facilities. Like, you want a picture and us talking to you through a screen doesn't do it justice. Yeah. Come see us, come talk to us. Our campus is open, so we would love to have you here. Also, if you want to go ahead and follow us on our Twitter, we have that's where we're going to post tons of information and tips, kind of like we talked about tonight, post about important dates we have coming up here, and post about events we have. We are going to open it up to questions. So if you have questions, please go ahead and we'll answer those. And if you're going to participate in questions, we're actually going to send you one of our personalized GSC swag boxes. So that's awesome.
All right, guys, one of our questions is, how long will it take after I apply to hear back?
Okay, so does anyone want to answer that, or you want me to?
I'll answer.
All right.
So the minute we get your application, we are going to have that entered within just a couple of days, and you will get an immediate text message if you provided a cell phone number. If not, we do have automated emails that go out, and we have a whole group of student workers that do house calls. But you will hear from us almost immediately. And if you submit your high school transcripts, that will get you an acceptance packet much faster. Or if you just tell us your GPA and your test scores, if you have those, that will get you an acceptance packet very, very soon. We send those out weekly.
I'm going to take the next question. The question was, can you tell me about your music program? And I just wanted to take it because I majored in music here at Glenville State College, and we have a vast number of pathways you can take. So we've got the music technology pathway, the music performance pathway, and the music education pathway. And I did all three. So you can, and all these classes overlap so that you can, that possibility is there for you. So you could go and run sound somewhere, you can be a music teacher, or you can try to start going into symphonies and grad school in music programs. So we've got programs like a really good percussion ensemble. If you've never seen it, it happens every spring, and it's like a big rock show with lights and sound and lots of rock music, but it's all happening on percussion instruments. We've got a really good marching band. We've got concert choir, chamber singers, jazz band, and jazz combo. So the jazz combo is kind of a smaller group that goes out and performs gigs like any gigging band would, and you sometimes get paid just extra money for going and playing gigs in the jazz combo. And if you're interested in music, we can definitely get you a tour of the music facility. Our department head, Dr. Barr, like Ricky was saying, he's the one that was in the house band in the House of Blues. He plays saxophone, and he gives a really great tour of our music facilities. So we'd love to have you here for that as well. Okay, here's another question. What is exercise science like? What's that degree like?
I'll take that one. Me personally, I was an exercise science major. We did kind of pick up something new that I wish we would have had the option for when I was a student here. With the exercise science, you can actually go multiple different pathways, whether that be a PT look, which just stands for physical therapy. You can take a chance and maybe even becoming a teacher in some aspects, obviously. Or you can actually go through and get like strength conditioning certifications if you're interested in that standpoint as well. The new thing I touched on was we have a 3-year here at Glenville State College and a 2-year at Marshall University, and you actually come out with your master's degree in physical therapy. That's going to branch out a lot and be pretty popular here within the next couple of years, I believe.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Okay, so we kind of have a question about COVID-19 and admissions guidelines that have changed. Do we have any special things that we're doing to help accommodate people with disabilities in COVID-19?
Yes. Okay. So, like kind of Sarah touched on, the application process is definitely changed. So with, us knowing that students aren't able to take, get out and take their test scores. So being able to kind of waive that. And then on campus, definitely, we are we're open campus and we're very safe here. So we have had where all our students are wearing masks. We've kind of done a great job of changing how you exit and enter buildings to kind of keep up with the flow of traffic, making sure everyone is practicing social distancing. I know I talked a little bit about that on our events also. Kind of all the events that we've been hosting has been they've done a great job of kind of sticking to those COVID guidelines. Also, we are doing where we have hybrid classes and then some online classes. And so that's really cut down on kind of big gatherings of groups in the classroom. It has, I think, this is a weird time that we're in right now, and we're having to adapt to it as we go. So I think I'm really proud of how we've handled COVID and how each day kind of the information changes and how we just kind of are like, okay, we're going to adapt to that as well. So you can definitely, though, call us and talk to us more about that, and especially kind of the steps that we're going to take in the future with kind of how COVID-19 is going to ride out this year.
And we also have an academic success center here on campus. So if you have any disabilities that are unrelated to COVID, they have a special department up there that they can accommodate any needs that you have. So we do have that on campus for all of our students.
Did you want to mention hybrid classes?
Yeah, for the hybrid aspect, they'll do some that don't require you to come to campus as much. And then we also have some, certain degrees are fully online, so you can take a chance at that as well. I know we're kind of working, like Lexi said, day to day, trying to adapt. So I'm kind of proud of how we have some hybrid classes that are really, really picking up.
Yeah, and I'm off screen, but I just wanted to mention, kind of tagging off what everyone else has said. If for some reason you should need to be online because of unforeseen circumstances, our Academic Success Center has done a great job helping people transition to be online for 2 or 3 weeks in all their classes, even though they're not fully online students, just as another form of accommodation.
And also too, kind of with everything kind of transitioning to more online, we've noticed that just in our office. So we've even kind of talked about coming up with college readiness tips specifically for our online students, because we know that that has kind of been a huge wave of how classes are being taken now. Do we have any more questions? Anybody else want to get a GSC swag box? I'm telling you, these boxes they're pretty nice. You don't want to miss it.
I do have one thing I need to say about the test scores.
Okay.
From the athletic standpoint, for the test scores, I know we kind of had a Wi-Fi meltdown there for a second, but the school itself is kind of working around the test score aspect. But for the NCAA clearinghouse, they are requiring that for you to be recruited. I touched on earlier, we're a Division II school, so we do give out academic and athletic scholarship aid. So the way you can get that athletic scholarship aid and get that chance to be recruited is we do have to have that ACT or SAT test score. So if there's any way you guys can maybe get in, I know with COVID-19, a lot of people kind of struggled with trying to get in due to the fact dates are being moved back and whatnot, but try to make sure you definitely get that and then kind of stay in the loop.
I'm going to piggyback on that. As far as West Virginia grant goes and West Virginia Promise, we are the Promise Scholarship. They extended their deadline this year for testing to be able to qualify, but those guidelines for next year have not come out yet. So make sure that you're keeping up with all of the information coming out from the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission, and you'll find that at CFWB.
I also want to mention, if you're not able to take your test scores and get those in, we actually offer where you can take the residual test here. It's going to be $50, and you're only going to have to take the math and science portion. And then if you just have to score an 18 on that, and then you're going to get out of any of the prerequisite labs that you may have to take. That's a good option for you if you're needing those test scores. The only thing with that, with the residual, is that those test scores are specifically to Glenville State College. So if you were wanting to transfer somewhere, unfortunately, those test scores wouldn't transfer with you. Any more questions at this time? Gonna give it just a few more minutes.
Any questions you guys have even after this, feel free to reach out to all of us. We have our contact stuff on there.
Yep.
Whether that be about degrees, majors, processes of like getting athletically recruited or college recruited in general, like steps you need to take or any kind of aspect of that sort. So,
Or you're filling out your FAFSA and you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
We are in our office Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 in financial aid. And you can always reach us by email at financial.aid@glenville.edu, or you can just email me.
All right, I don't see any more questions coming in at this time. Like Larry said, please contact us if you have anything else that you need answered. Once again, I just want to say thank y'all for joining us, hanging out with us tonight. This has been really fun, even with all the technical difficulties and everything. Please come join us on campus and go Pioneers!
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for any additional sessions at WVACRAO.org. Again, that is WestVirginiaACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this recording as well as many others, and that website is WVACRAO.org. Thank you all so much and have a great evening.